श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम ओम सहनाववतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ओम शांति शांति शांति. So the next dharana, after seeing a series of anupayas, now he is coming back to the shakta upaya. Okay. nitye nirāśraye śūnye vyāpake kalanojjhite bhahyākāśe manaḥ kṛtvā nirākāśaṃ samāviśet. nitye nirāśraye śūnye vyāpake kalanojjhite bhahyākāśe manaḥ kṛtvā nirākāśaṃ samāviśet. Nirākāśe samāviśet. There is another usage, nirākāśe, reading nirākāśe samāviśet. Seventh case, in the sense of seventh case, second case is used. That's not a big deal. Nirākāśaṃ samāviśet and nirākāśe samāviśet, they are both same. Okay. Now, nitye nirāśraye. What does this dharana say? This dharana, first we'll understand. This dharana is one more dharana with respect to the space, ether. Okay. We have seen enough dharanas on ether, space. Like focusing on the space in the whole, or focusing on the space above the mountain or above the ocean, etc. Different kinds of dharanas we did. Now this is a different dharana on the space. Because since we are seeing the śūnye, he is taking that śūnye dharana here. Nitye nirāśraye. Okay. The space which is eternal, which is supportless, which is absent, non-existent, which is all-pervading, which is devoid of any impurities, that external space, in that placing your mind, you enter the spaceless state. Okay, that is what the sloka says. Okay. Nitye, what does nitya? Nitya means eternal. Space is accepted to be eternal. In the Shruti, there is a statement, akāshavat sarvagatashcha nitya. Like the space, this is all-pervading and eternal. Bhairava is all-pervading and eternal. Okay? Now, why is space called nitya? It is not really nitya because other than Bhairava, nothing is nitya. They all came into existence. It's all vimarsha. Due to the spanda, due to the vibration, everything came into existence. Right? So, space is the first thing which came into existence. So, therefore, it cannot be eternal. Only the Bhairava can be eternal. Nothing else can be eternal. But still, it is called as nitya. Why? Because space is the first thing. Time and space is the first thing which came into existence. Okay? After that, everything came into existence. In the reverse process, when it is merging, during the dissolution, when it is merging, everything goes leaving the space. And the space also finally merges in the Bhairava. So, in that way, space is a nitya, eternal. Okay? Then, nirāśraye. Space is that which does not have any support. See, everything has as its substratum the Bhairava, but still, space is something which is supportless, substratumless. How can that be? Because in reality, Bhairava is not a substratum for anything. What can be the substratum for something non-existent? So, space. Is it non-existent? No. Śūnye. That is why we have to add śūnye. Śūnye is not void. We have already said absence or the absence of creation. That is what śūnya. In the space, when there is nothing else, there is absence of creation there in the space. All the other objects. So, śūnye, that kind of śūnya, vyāpake, space that which is omnipresent, all-pervading, kalanojjhite, which is devoid of any kind of impurities. The smoke, the dust, etc. does not impure the space. So, that kind of space, in that bhahyākāśe, in that external space, manaḥ kṛtvā. Manaḥ kṛtvā, placing your mind. means with the knowledge, with the determined knowledge that this is a vimarsha. This is the vimarsha. This is the expanse of Bhairava himself. Nothing else. With this knowledge, with this clarity, when you establish your mind there, then nirākāśaṃ. Nirākāśaṃ. Nirākāśaṃ means nishkrantam akāśaṃ. Nishkrantam akāśaṃ. That which is beyond the akasha. That which is beyond the akasha. Beyond the akasha means beyond the śūnya. Beyond the śūnya means ati śūnya. That which is beyond the śūnya is called as ati śūnya or aśūnya. That is beyond the śūnya is a absence, is a beyond absence. Ati śūnya means beyond absence, a state called beyond absence, or aśūnya, that which is not absence, that which is existence. That is why it is that state is called as aśūnya, aśūnya dhama, an abode of non-absence, or ati śūnya, abode of that which is beyond the śūnya. Okay, so he gains that state. This is a Shakta Upaya. This is a Shakta Upaya. This is not a Anupaya. This is a Shakta Upaya. Okay, because we have to place your mind. Manaḥ kṛtvā. You have to place your mind. You have knowledge there. Have a determined knowledge. This is vimarsha. Okay. Now next. Yatra mano yāti tattattenaiva tatkṣaṇam parityajyānavasthityā nistaraṅgastato bhavet. Yatra mano yāti tattattenaiva tatkṣaṇam parityajyānavasthityā nistaraṅgastato bhavet. Wherever the mind travels, in all those objects, in that very moment, at that very moment, in that very object, through that very mind, when you give up that object, then since the mind is devoid of object, then the waves of thoughts, they stop to rise. Then he becomes that Shiva, Bhairava. Tato bhavet, bhairava bhavet. Nistaraṅga. When there is no thought, then the thoughtless state is a bhairava state. Right? No. Yatra mano yāti. There are different versions of this similar thing. Wherever the mind travels, there I had different versions. Whichever object the mind travels, there see it to be bhairava. We saw that also. So now here what he says is yatra mano yāti. Wherever the mind travels, tattattenaiva tatkṣaṇam. Because mind is something. What is mind? Mind is thought function. There is nothing called mind other than thought function. And thought function is something which does not cease to exist. It always, because of our prarabdha, because of our punya karma, the good and bad deeds which you have performed, it keeps on rising. Okay, it doesn't stop. Now, how can we stop? In Patanjali Yoga Sutra, he says, Abhyasa vairagyabhyam tan nirodha. Abhyasa vairagyabhyam tan nirodha. Or there is another sutra, Ubhayadhinas chittavritti nirodha. Ubhayadhina chittavritti nirodha means the mind control is under these two, Abhyasa and Vairagya. In Bhagavad Gita also, Bhagavan says, Abhyasenaiva kaunteya vairagyena cha grishyate. Through the Abhyasa and Vairagya, the mind can be controlled. Nothing else. Okay. So, tatkṣaṇam, the mind which is turbulent, which cannot be controlled, that mind, wherever it travels, at that very moment, in that very object, don't let it stick to it. What does that mean? Parityajya, he says, give it up. Don't allow it to stick to it. How is that? When I see book, table, pen, laptop, mic, door, I don't allow the mind to stick to any object to let the mind process it and objectify it. I keep the mind running from one object to another object without letting it stop in one place and enjoying that. When it runs from one object to another object, parityajya, by giving up the previous objects, then what happens? Anavasthitam, it becomes restless. Because there is no place for the mind to stop. I am not letting it to stop. It becomes restless. So at that point, since during the restless state, what happens? The mind does not have any object. Because it does not have any object, the mind ceases to form the thoughts. Then it becomes that Shiva Swarupa. Or you can see, when the mind travels to the external object, give up those objects because of the vairagya, because of the veka vairagya. You have to have veka and vairagya, discrimination and dispassion for giving up. That this is all vimarsha. Why do I stick to vimarsha? So give up not just this object to next object. Give up all the objects, seeing them as vimarsha, the expanse of Shiva, and stick to the substratum. At that kind of at that period, the state of bhairava manifests. Okay. Now this is a shakta upaya also. Next is bhayā sarvaṃ ravayati sarvado vyāpako'khile iti bhairavaśabdasya santatoccāraṇācchivaḥ. Bhayā sarvaṃ ravayati sarvado vyāpako'khile iti bhairavaśabdasya santatoccāraṇācchivaḥ. Bhairava, the word bhairava, which means that one who, because of his effulgence, creates all this expanse, which is omnipresent and omnipotent. So, because of that, when you chant, when you repeatedly say take the name of Bhairava, continuously take the name of Bhairava, you become Shiva. Okay. Now, this is a kind of mantra chanting. Japa. But wait. Santatoccāraṇācchivaḥ, he says. Repeatedly, by say bhairavaśabdasya santatoccāraṇācchivaḥ. By repeatedly taking the name of Bhairava, you become Shiva. But how do I do it? Bhairava, 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 Bhairava. Look, but still, it is not a mantra, because a mantra should always be with namaha, swaha, and with fourth case. That is what a mantra is. Om Namaha Shivaya, Om Namo Narayanaya. All these has a namaha, om, and a fourth case word. But here, Bhairava is not a fourth case, it's just a name. How can the repetition of name give me the state of Bhairava? That should be a first doubt. So first we have to understand what is mantra. What is a name? Is there a difference between name and mantra? That's the first question. We have to understand there is no difference absolutely of any form between the name and mantra. Mantra, name, they are all different forms of the same thing. More than that, the name is not different from the form. We have already established this. The name is not different from the meaning. Bhagarthau viva sampraktau. Kalidasa, he wrote the invocation, like you, Shiva and Parvati are like inseparable, like Vak and Artha, the word and the meaning. Okay, the word is meaning, meaning is word. There is no difference between word and meaning. When you take the word, that means it has a meaning. Now, all the words have the same meaning of Bhairava. That is also established. So, now to understand this word and meaning, there is a saying, if you die in Kashi, then you get mukti. Maranat muktihi. That is what they say. In Kashi, if you die, you get mukti. How? It is said in Kashi, whoever dies, they are initiated into the Taraka mantra by Shiva himself. Taraka mantra means Omkara. Shiva will give you the initiation of Om, you get liberated. Okay. Om is a word which is not fourth case. It's a word, over. Okay. That is Om. Okay, fine. This Valmiki, a great rishi who wrote Ramayana, before he became Valmiki, he was a thief. Okay, he used to steal people, rob people out of their wealth in the forest. Okay, when they travel through the forest. So he was initiated by Narada, the Maharishi Narada, into this mantra. He could not even chant Rama mantra. Even before Rama was born, he wrote Ramayana. And even before that, he had the initiation of Rama. But this fellow could not, because of the Papa, he could not chant Rama. So, Narada asked, do you know what this tree is? Of course I know. This is Mara tree. Okay, keep repeating Mara, Mara, Mara. Mara, 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 Mara became Rama, 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 Rama. Okay, Mara does not even have a meaning. That implied the Rama. That became the meaning for Rama. Okay. Third, there was this saint called Kabir Das in Kashi. He was a Muslim by birth, but he was so much attached to the Rama and Rama mantra. He wanted to be initiated by this great saint Ramananda into this Ram mantra. That since he is a Muslim, he was afraid that he will reject him. So he followed this Ramananda, his activities, and he understood every day he comes to the bathing ghat in Kashi. There are steps towards the river. So he comes there to this particular bathing ghat. So he decided, okay, not to kidnap him. He came one day morning and lied on the steps. They are huge stone steps. He just lied on it, lay on it. When Ramananda came, he is going to take bath. So he comes without any chappals or anything, right? So we call kadav, a wooden chappal. So he didn't wear anything. He just came there. And this fellow was lying. He didn't see him. He stepped on him. And the moment you step on somebody or something, are you? Something or other you will normally say. If you are used to a name, mantra, then immediately that will come. Rama Rama, Shiva Shiva, Guruji, something. That will immediately come up. So this fellow, when he stepped on him, he understood he is stepping on somebody. So he said, Ram, Ram, Ram. So that Kabir Das took us initiation. In initiation, there is a touching initiation. There is a Nayana Diksha, seeing initiation. And there is a verbal initiation. So he got all the three initiation at the same time. And he started chanting Ram, Ram, Ram because he was initiated by Guru. And he chanted it so much that even during the using the washroom area, he used to chant it. The Brahmins there said, no, you can't do that. Didn't you know the Shuchi, Ashuchi? You saw the Dhāraṇā earlier, the pure and auspicious periods. How can you do it? That's not an auspicious place, auspicious thing. So he said, okay, I don't know. So, okay. So he tied himself completely and he started using the washroom. From there, from every pore of his body, the Ram Nama started coming out. So he said, sorry, you do whatever. So this name, mantra, etc. are not different from the absolute. So bhairavaśabda. Bhairavaśabda also has the same state. Okay. Now, bhaya. What does bhairava mean? Bhaya sarvaṃ ravayati. This we saw at the beginning when we explained what Bhairava Tantra means. Bhaya with the fear. Bhaya, fear. Bhaya means with the prakasha, with the effulgence. Sarvaṃ ravayati. Whatever is in this world, sarvadaha vyāpakaha akhile. In this all-pervading world, whatever exists, it is the one which ravayati means vimarshayati. It is the one which creates that expanse through its effulgence. He is the one who creates this expanse of this whole creation world. Okay, so that is one meaning. So there are different meanings to this bhairava. Very famous meanings we'll say. Bhaya means the samvit prakasha, jnanatmaka. Okay, aikara, I, bha plus I, bhai. I is kriya shakti. Bha, I, bhai. Now rava. Rava means vimarsha, the expanse. So that is what is through the effulgence of knowledge and the activity of this aikara is Maheshwara Shakti. The power of creation is the activity of Maheshwara. So with the effulgence of knowledge and the activity of Maheshwara, that which creates this expansion is Bhairava. That the one who creates this expansion is Bhairava. That is the meaning of Bhairava. Okay. Then bhaya sarvaṃ shubhāshubhaṃ rāti dadāti iti Bhairava. There is another meaning. With bhaya, with that effulgence, whatever is good and bad, this is the one. He is the one who is rāti dadāti. Who is the one who is giving the results of good and bad. He is the one who is giving that. Therefore, he is Bhairava. Or Bhairava, the prominent meaning is bha, ra, ba. Bha means bhai. Bha is for the main sustenance. Ravana means to merge, dissolution. Then bhamana, to create. So sustenance, dissolution, merging, and creation. The one who does all these three, creation, sustenance, and dissolution, is Bhairava. So that meaning also you can take. So this Dhāraṇā is also a Shakta Dhāraṇā. Okay, we'll see this. The previous Dhāraṇā is a Shakta Dhāraṇā, which will immediately lead you to Shambhava Dhāraṇā. This is a Shakta Dhāraṇā. That's the difference. We'll see this. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.